night of the fight, you may feel a slight sting. That's pride fucking with you. Fuck pride. Pride only hurts. It never helps. You fight through that shit.
Yeah, you were hard on him. That wasn't fair.
And actually, I would say Joe was actually rather soft considering how much he was rambling.
You're damn right. I could have been a hell of a lot harder. And they will be if you catch one in a bad mood and he's read your notes prior and he's big judge on town. He ain't going to put up with his shit. He'll just purposely try to troll you into anger. And if your words are not effective, he's just going to be able to push you through and figure this guy's never going to amount to anything that gets me in trouble, and I'm just going to extend him 5 weeks and use this frustrate him thing, shove him to trial, see how he likes that. When we open up, all right, here we are for trial next time. I mean, I was nice. Okay, that was nice.
Yeah,
I mean, at
have
times
to be
I was a
more
hard ass,
effective.
but overall. I mean, if you want to be defendant, I guess I'll do judge one more time, but then after that, I just kind of want to break it up so everybody gets practice at being a hard-ass judge. The point of being a hard-ass judge is it's freedom. Be a total dick, but say what you have trouble with, like when judges say to you, just to see how the defendant handles it so you get more ideas about maybe how you should handle it. It's just, if you know his job inside out and backwards, you're going to know your own so much better. It's awesome.
I agree. You're a good judge. You're very good. But I don't like getting off the rails with these guys. I'm rusty, too. It's been a couple of years, but I look forward to it, man. Fucking try to arraign me. I want to see what happens here.
Okay, what's your charges? Do you have any realistic, or do you want me to just make one up? What case do you want to make up, or do you want to just start off as if I dragged you in here and you don't even know why? Because you can do that, too.
Yeah, I'm here because I got some letter in the mail says that violence will be used against me if I don't show up here. So what do you need?
Let's call it some old podunk matter that was like 10 years ago you never settled, and we're a broke county, so we decided to mail out letters to people and see if they can pay things that are 10 years old. How about that? Like a speeding ticket or something. Parking ticket. Parking ticket's even better.
Oh, okay, whatever. That was my intro as I walked into court, though. I got a threat in the mail. What do you want? This is how we're role playing.
Oh, you want to start? Okay. So the case number is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Mr. Alton. So you walk up there. And Mr. Alton, I see from the notes on this case that you've received a letter for a parking ticket. The outstanding balance is now, after time and interest, $425 of an original amount of $75. Oh, it seems like back in 2007. Wow. All right, let's see. How would you like to proceed? We can either explain and hopefully get a reduction in fine. You can plead guilty and accept the fine, or you can plead no contest and we can take this matter to trial. How would you like to proceed?
Well, I'd like to pursue a guilty plea, but I would like to know if I could ask some questions first to make sure I'm fully informed of the cause and nature of the charges against me. Would that be all right?
No, we're not here to answer your questions. I'm sorry, it's not that kind of court. This is a community court, and we have, 20 people before you and 30 people afterwards, and only 4 more hours until the end of the day. So I just need your plea. No contest, or guilty, or guilty.
Well, I'd like to sign a guilty plea right now if the prosecutor could put the evidence on. Oh, wait, is this traffic? Oh, can't we do something criminal? If the prosecutor
you can certainly handle this.
There's going to be no prosecutor to ticket, right?
There could be a prosecutor.
All right, okay, so there's a prosecutor. Sorry. All right, so if the prosecutor put the evidence on the table that the code and the Constitution apply to me, I'll plead guilty and pay the fine right now, and it'll all be over with.
If the prosecutor does what, sir? I'm sorry, could you speak a little slower for the recording?
Put the evidence on the table that the code and the Constitution apply to me, and that I was within the state of Florida, and I will sign a guilty plea right now, and I will pay the fine and do whatever you want me to do. Probation, whatever you want. I need the evidence first. I can't just go around paying people who say I got to pay them without demanding some kind of proof. So as long as you have the evidence, we're good to go, and I'll pay you and it's all over. What do you say? Fair enough? What do you say? Come on, Judge. Fair enough? Come on. There's too many here. You want me to...
I'm sorry. I broke character. I'll get back in. Okay.
Want the money?
What is it exactly that you want the prosecutor to put on the table, as you say?
What's that?
What is it you're asking the prosecutor to put on the table? And please do it in a sentence or less.
That the code and the Constitution apply to me, and that I was within the state of Florida, then I'll sign a guilty plea and pay the fine.
Okay? I understand that you want to plead guilty and pay the fine, so you don't need to repeat that part anymore. You're under the impression that excuse me, Mr. Alton, I'm speaking. You had a turn, it's my turn, right? So let me speak. Don't interrupt me when I'm speaking and responding to you. All right, so you are saying that you want the prosecutor to put something on the table about codes and statutes applying to you. Do I understand you correctly?
Exactly.
Okay. And you realize this is for a parking infraction that has 0 points on your record, and the fine is $425 because you've waited so long. You are expecting the prosecutor to have a matter in here? The prosecutor was never involved in this originally because you never showed up for court. So I'm not sure what exactly you're expecting when you say that. Do you know?
Well, I expect the prosecutor to be able to prove every one of his accusations, and he's accusing me of being within his jurisdiction. So as long as he has proof of that, I will pay the fine.
The prosecutor is not accusing you of anything, sir.
He's accusing me of being within his jurisdiction, is he not?
No, he is not.
Well, then how do the codes apply to me if he doesn't think I'm in his jurisdiction?
Because there's a difference between the prosecutor and the state of Texas. The prosecutor is doing his job. He's not invested one way or the other. He's not accusing you of anything. Do you understand the way the system works, sir?
You're calling him the state of Texas? Or is he the prosecutor? Or is he Jim? Who is he?
The prosecutor is an officer of the court. The plaintiff is the state of Texas. That is a difference, sir. And things like this that I don't have the time to explain to you. How would you like to... Have you ever consulted a lawyer on this matter? Or would you like to just set this matter for trial and then consult a lawyer between now and trial? Which would you like to do?
Are you denying my right to be fully informed of the cause and nature and charges?
No, Mr. Alton. I'm not going to ask you a question and then let you just abandon it totally and go off on something else. That is not how progress is made. This is my courtroom. In my courtroom, I make progress.
Well, it seems like you
40 cases
without answering my question. So how come you get to
I don't have to answer your questions, Mr. Alton. My patience is running short with your mouth.
My patience is running short.
I don't have to answer your question. Mr. Alton,
steal money from me.
You will be quiet, sir. And right now a bailiff is moving to your immediate right.
Not in traffic court, they ain't. They're fucking pussies. Well, down here they are. I don't know about your area. It all depends on where you are and what kind of judge you got. Anyway, yeah, if the prosecutor's got the evidence that the code applies to me, I'll pay the thing and we'll be gone. So, I mean, what do you want to do? You're going to go to a jury trial? You're going to impanel a jury? This
isn't. I don't think we need to go any further because of two reasons. One, you're under the impression that you can interrupt a judge, and that's never going to fly. And you're not changing your mind, apparently. And two, dude, you have more run-on sentences than most anybody I've ever heard, and there's no way in hell a judge is going to let you get away with that. He's just going to interrupt you. You're going to get pissed off for him interrupting you. You're going to interrupt, go back and forth, back and forth. He's going to troll you into anger because the weakest link in your chain of words, Mr. Alton, is your temper and your pride and your ego.
No, I'm just
telling you right now.
I didn't say anything. I was asking questions. Where's the evidence? And I'll plead guilty. I mean, you're the one that keeps railroading me into this bullshit. You haven't answered my question.
Exactly. You think I'm doing that on purpose? I'm doing that on purpose.
I'm not going to let you move on.
You are.
Move on if you never answered the question.
I don't have to. Why are you under the impression that judges ever have to answer any questions of yours? Whoever told you that?
Well, because I went to court and they answered my questions. And, you know,
that doesn't mean they have to. That means he was nice.
I've had judges answer them. I've had judges yell at me. I've been thrown out of court. I've been charged with contempt. I've been jailed with contempt. Fuck them.
I don't doubt you. But I'm not saying that you're doing anything wrong by doing that if that's the way you choose to go for your purposes. I'm not here to judge your purposes. I'm here to keep you out of jail and to have these other people learn about Columbo, right? And the Socratic method, which doesn't involve getting thrown in jail and interrupting judges.
Well, you know, just about anybody who's done this or tried this pretty much went to jail. They're fucking locked up, or they paid the fine, or they cut a deal. You know, this thing is no foolproof. This isn't a plan to get out of this. I mean, this is just, you're just rolling the dice.
There is a way to get through it unscathed, and the goal is to stay out of jail, and there is a way to win.
What?
Absolutely there is.
Oh my God, it's under
I've seen people do it. I've heard my friends do it. They tempted within a word of going to jail, recognizing it, and skillfully dodging it, denying the judge the ability to do so, despite his very best efforts. That's called discipline, good training, practice, and knowing the craft. It's communication.
Some town I give in, he proved there's no evidence of jurisdiction, drop it. Dismissed for lack of evidence of jurisdiction. I'd like to see that fucking paperwork.
Okay, go ask Scar. He got one just a couple days ago. That's exactly why it was dismissed. They just changed their fucking mind. He denied it, and then he said, "Oh, I changed my mind." No reason. And it was for juris freaking diction, dude.
He wrote it in there, lack of jurisdiction. That's why.
No, that he said it was because of the motion.
He got his motion approved. Granted.
I don't know how long you've been out of the game, but things have changed, man.
It's a couple years, but I'm just saying it was granted. The motion was granted to dismiss based on lack of jurisdiction.
He just got a victory. Look in the No State Project chat. And it's because he got a big freaking win. If somebody
actually got it thrown out on basis of the lack of jurisdiction, that would be wonderful. I'm all for that. I just haven't seen it yet.
And I'm trying to show you how it's possible, but you're telling me I'm wrong.
Go to markstevens.net, look under their success stories. They're the recent Texas one
of
a docket number that is specific that can be verified by entering it into the government website, and it'll verify that the jurisdiction of the prosecution was not verified nor proven beyond a reasonable doubt. Therefore, they have dismissed the charges.
Well, that's awesome. Everybody should be carrying that in their fucking pockets when they go to court.
Well, yeah, dude, there's a lot of success stories. But even throwing out Supreme Court rulings in favor, these judges still take it upon their liberty to blatantly disregard a Supreme Court ruling when it has been factually identified and stated in front of their faces on the record. They blatantly disidentify
they can do whatever they want. Yeah, steamroll, whatever.
I've brought Supreme Court shit. They about laughed me out of the court.
Yeah, because you can go into any law library, go look up the books, and find Supreme Court cases that just directly contradict each other. So it's like cherry picking, and they know it. I'm really not honestly trying to win an argument against you or be right or prove you wrong. I'm not trying to do any of that. I just have other people here listening. Maybe things have gotten a little more aggressive or whatnot. I don't discount your previous experience. It's something I don't have. I'm sure there are things that that I need to learn myself. But I'm just telling you, they're not going to put up with this shit of interrupting. And if you want to go to jail, then just keep doing that. But nobody here wants you to go to jail.
No, you got to understand, man. And the judge interrupts me first, and I'll interrupt him right back, man. It's all tit for tat. I'm sorry, but it's just another human being. I don't care what dress he has on, what he thinks he is, or what he thinks his fiction is. I don't give a fuck. It's just another human being in front of me, man. And if you're going to interrupt me, I'm going to interrupt you. And if you want to lock me in a cage because I interrupt you, that just makes you a fucking criminal. I'll go toe-to-toe with any judge and any prosecutor and any cop. And I've gone toe-to-toe with many cops, man. And I'm telling you, if you call them on it, they back off. They don't respect anything except another barking dog. I'm telling you, they're fucking assholes. They're going to run right over this other guy, this last guy.
I'm agreeing with you, actually. I mean, I'm agreeing with you, but in a way that says, all right, well, you apparently need to be thrown in jail a few more times, and then you'll be back here going, how the hell do I stay out of jail?
Well, no, I never
did. I can't convince you right now otherwise. You sound set in that way. I'm not even going to try and change your mind. I respect you're a grown man. You can make your decisions. It's all good.
All the judges I've been through, they've all been different. They switch judges on me over and over and over again. I got a new judge.
They do that on purpose so that you can't figure out his ways and use it against him. They do that on purpose. They rotate judges just to keep you off guard. Especially us when we come in on evidence of jurisdiction.
I look at all these other stories, and it's the same judge and the same prosecutor for 3-4 years. How come I have 5, 6, 7 prosecutor judges, and they keep switching them because they can't answer the question?
I'm on my 1, 2, 3, 4, 4th judge in a courthouse with only 5 judges in it, and I have tiny misdemeanors.
Yeah,
but they rotate the fuck out.
Did you keep fucking them up, and then they had to switch a judge on you, or?
No, absolutely not. I just went in there being effective. And they don't like it, and they can't stand it. They keep switching.
Well, why
they pull me out of line alphabetically and throw me at the end and then find a reason to an extension, like, oh, you asked for a bathroom break because you've been waiting for 45 minutes. Nope, sorry, we need an extension. Oh, sorry, we had a trial before you, and that's not fair, but oh, well, too bad, fuck you, come back in 5 weeks. I'm drawn off of a lot of hearings from people, a lot of different places. To get a dismissal letter is a beautiful, beautiful thing worth something that money can't buy and you can't quite explain. Things like that universally have a high price, and the high price for you is going to be your pride and your ego and putting this thing away about, he's just another man, and if he interrupts me, I'm going to interrupt him. That's one way to go about it. And again, I'm not judging it like you're wrong. I'm just saying a Columbo approach makes the judge furious, not you. Through skillful communication, you accept all of his interruptions, and you just use a magnifying glass to point them out. The public can hear it. It's all over the transcript. The judge gets pissed because he knows you're being effective on the transcript and that you've got awesome grounds for appeal. And he doesn't even need to know that we hate appeal and don't want it to go there. He's still afraid of it because the only thing they give a fuck about is that transcript. And once they get a tiny whiff that you are trollable, you're done. And you know what? You might as well be a slave to yourself because you don't even have a choice in the matter. You're just on autopilot. I'm going to interrupt because I have an ego and fuck this guy.
No, the judge, you were playing the judge. You interrupted me, man. You're getting this all fucking backwards here. Wait a minute.
On purpose. Welcome to reality.
I've been to court 30 fucking times, and I've never been interrupted by a judge. I don't carry myself like that. I go in there and I look them dead in their eyes and I ask the questions that need to be asked and I demand evidence. I'm not rude. I'm not obnoxious. I have no ego. Okay. I just want to get this over with. I'm very nonchalant while I'm in there, okay? But you interrupted me and no judge has ever interrupted me. I've always been able to finish my sentence because I don't go running on with bullshit.
No. I would like anybody else in the room.
Are you fucking kidding me, Alton?
Yeah.
You've never been interrupted by a judge?
No.
Every judge I've gone in front of has interrupted every damn question I've asked or clarification I've asked them.
And he's as nice as they come.
And they pretend like they stop talking and like they're done. And as soon as you start talking, it's just like they start continuing a sentence that they never...
No, they ignore me. But I'm saying they never interrupted me. They just ignore me and move on.
Did you...
they never interrupted.
Were you ever effective with pursuing the evidence of jurisdiction?
Oh, yeah, I asked
for that. Or did you have other... I'm sorry, go ahead.
I ask for that all the time. I asked for evidence of jurisdiction. I asked the fucking jury for evidence of jurisdiction. I fucking held out the guilty plea and said, I'll plead guilty right now if these guys can just prove that the code and the Constitution apply to me and that I was within the state of Florida. And we'll get this over with right now. Not that I'm guilty of anything, not that I've done anything morally or ethically wrong, but I'll sign a guilty plea because if these laws do apply to me, I would never fight these people because everyone who fights them loses.
So what happened in that case where you weren't interrupted and you did push forward evidence of jurisdiction? What was the end result?
They just railroaded me right into a jury trial, that's all. They didn't care.
And what happened at the jury trial?
They just judges and everything.
What was the end result, the decision?
Well, it ended in a mistrial. It's over. It actually had to go to the appeals court. The state attorney took it to the appeals court, and then the appeals court sided with me.
So you've beat them. It just had to go all the way to appeal.
Yeah. It ended in a mistrial. They didn't like my questions.
What caused the mistrial?
They didn't like my questions, and they were losing. It looked horrible for them. A mistrial was the only way to get another bite at the apple. And I had a libertarian woman on the jury, man. She was slobbering all over me. She was on the edge of her seat. She was never going to let them convict me. And the prosecutor saw that and knew that. Oh, everybody knew. I walked out there, my mom, my sister, and everybody like, did you see that blonde? She ain't never going to convict your ass.
It's pretty funny that a lot of people would pick that up. That's pretty funny.
Oh, it was obvious. When I was talking to the jury, I was making, she never...
All right, well, I hope that you prove me wrong. And
I don't want to prove you wrong. I want us all to beat the shit out of me every time we go. I don't want
to... I was making a joke. I was just saying I hope the judges... You're right, and that the judges never interrupt you, but I bet my life that you're about to get surprised.
But they never interrupted the point I'm trying to make is they didn't have to because they just ignored me and moved on.
Keep in mind that when there's a critical difference between being in front of a jury and being in front of a judge. And of course that is that the jury aren't bar members. They're not skilled in manipulation. They don't really supposedly have a dog in the race. Yeah, they're sheep and probably want to conform to the judge. They might have still humanity, compassion, empathy, the ability, they're human fucking beings. Yeah, so, and that's such a critical difference because you're going to get treated differently in front of a jury than you are in a regular traffic court deal.
Of course, yeah.
Big time.
You got to remember that the jury is also threatened with violence and paid money by the prosecutor, the other side, the option, whatever. Your opposition. Your opposition is threatening them and threatening them. If I paid them and threatened them, what would they do to me? That's not...
No, I understand what you're saying, but I don't want to just blow past the point. You're coming to the role plays here where we're going in traffic court saying, I'm not going to be interrupted because I wasn't interrupted over here and I've been to the jury trial. And I'm telling you that it's likely that you'll be less interrupted in a jury trial because you're in front of a jury and the court knows that the power is with them. They can't be punished if they say, fuck you, judge, I'm going to do whatever I want. And then because of double jeopardy, they can't just throw out their verdicts and just because they didn't like it and just start over.
Well, agreeing with you, I tell you what, the jury was the only time I was free to talk and was able to actually talk and keep talking.
But the point that I'm trying to hammer on is you can't have the same approach going into the traffic courts, misdemeanor courts, and our role plays here because we're trying to be Socratic method in Colombo because that's what's effective. We get interrupted like a motherfucker in here. There's no jury around to make the judge be nice, okay?